Hi, it's Verena, Gayatri Primus here. It's the third part of our Healthy and Balanced Travel Wellness series, and today we focus on meditation on the move, how I and also you can find quiet in the middle of busyness and noise. And yes, today, so far, I've been sharing Ayurvedic travel tips, then yoga travel rituals to help you sleep, digest better, feel centered and grounded, even while you're busy traveling, either for work or pleasure, not having a lot of time on your own and probably not having a lot of space. And today, if you've missed those, of course, you can go back to the videos or to my newsletter links and you can read them. And today I want to share something with you, which I think is really one of the most important, but also one of the hardest things for me and also for my clients and students, is how to keep up your meditation on the road or on the move. And yes, because let's be honest, finding time and space for some stillness and silence, it is hard. And yes, as I've been sharing the last videos and newsletter, in this last weekend's Formula One race in Barcelona, I really understood now. I understood my clients and students who come to me usually and say, Verena, it's really hard to keep up with my meditation while I'm on a trip, how to do it. And I really get it. It's not easy, for me too. We were in a small Airbnb, the kids were in the living room, the husband in the bedroom, there was not much room, there was not much space. Literally the biggest quiet alone space was in the shower cabin, in the bathroom. And as I shared with you, there was this little square of a balcony where I did my yoga practice, but it was really not much space and there was not much time. We had a packed schedule, got picked up at 9, came home at 8, being on the racetrack full of people, conversation, noises from the race cars and the conversation and people and faces, lots of stimulation. So when and how was I supposed to find time for stillness and meditation? And I need to share with you, right in this noise and this craziness of this bustling city of Barcelona and on the racetrack, I realized stillness and silence is not a luxury, it's a necessity for me. And I knew, especially because the time is intense, especially because I'm rarely alone and always surrounded with people, and especially I'm in a new city with lots of stimulation, a new scenario. I need to find stillness and silence. And even though I might not have it around me, I need to find it inside of me. And Ayurveda teaches, and I think this is such an important teaching, is that digestion doesn't just happen in your belly, and you're not just digesting food. Your digestion actually happens also in your mind. Your digestion, input, information, sensory stimulation. And if you don't have enough time to digest the input you get from travels, from work meetings, from me, from the Formula One race, having talks, lots of new input, what you create is mental ama, mental toxins. And you experience them as a form of overwhelm, overstimulation, nervousness, maybe even anxiety and depression. So it's really important to give your mind the space and time and stillness to digest all this wonderful new input you're getting while you're traveling, regardless if you're traveling for pleasure or for work. So even so, a formal meditation is always so very hard for me as a very trained meditator while on the road and never being alone. You can find what I call pockets of stillness, pockets of time, micro moments of peace. And yes, pockets of stillness that bring you back to yourself, that brought me back to myself on this last trip. So let me share with you how I did this on this trip and what I would recommend. So, 3 pocket practices, real life travel meditation for you. So let's start. The first thing was a morning breathing mind reset. So morning breathing mind reset. I did this while still lying in bed. You know, I woke up, my husband was still resting, the kids were asleep. I said, yeah, let's use this time. So I started with a breathing exercise. I personally love the 6-part breath, but I would recommend to you to start with what's called Sama Pranayama, equal breathing. So you can start by inhaling for the count of 3, exhaling for the count of 3, and then increasing to the count of 4, exhaling to the count of 4, and if you like, increasing to the count of 5 or 6. So that grounds you, concentrates you, focuses you. And then I did a little mental check-in if there are any negative beliefs in there about me, about the day, and I tried to, or I did change them to the opposite belief. And with that, I also visualized my day, how I want it to go, what I'm excited about, how I want it to go. And this kind of really set me up for the day, positive day, grounded me in my breath. So, the second part was during the day. I call it a midday pause, even in a busy Formula 1 launch, like in my case. So the second day of the race I was really tired, as I've shared in the last week's video. You know, I had a late dinner, I didn't sleep well the night before, and I found myself really drained in the afternoon. And then there was a magic moment. There was nobody suddenly in the lodge, but it's usually busy with people. And I just took that chance, you know. So I put a shawl around me, I planted my feet on the floor, sat up straight, placed my hands on the lap. And I just took a pocket of time to withdraw my senses. It's called pratyahara in yoga. So I just focused on my breath, on my own inner stillness, on my own inner silence, and just withdraw inside of me, like a little snail withdrawing back into her house, into her shell. And then I really found myself, you know, after a few minutes, my mind was quiet again, my nervous system was reset, and I found myself ready again, you know, to have conversations with people, to go out and you know, continue watching the race with all the noise. But that really helped me ground a lot. And then in the evening, so the last part, the evening mala and mantra practice. Even again in bed, because this was the only places. So as we got home, my husband and kids, they were really eager to find out the results of Roland Garros, the tennis game going on in Paris at that same weekend. And they checked, and while they checked out the scores and results, I closed the sliding door of my bedroom, sat on my bedroom in a cross-legged position, and took my mala bead. Yes, I took my mala bead even to the Formula 1 race. It was placed right next to my bed, next to my Saraswati, and I took this mala bead and I just closed my eyes and repeated my mantra 108 times, 108 mala beads. And as you can imagine, you know, this rosewood feels really grounded, and as I repeat the mantra, I move the mala beads. So the rhythm of moving the mala beads, the rhythm of the mantra, the rhythm of the slow breathing, really calmed me, grounded me, you know, allowed the mind that space I told you it needed just to digest the input, the stimulation. And again, it might not have been such a deep meditation as I normally, but it allowed my mind to calm down, to quiet down, and really feel grounded. So that, as I said, is a deeply grounding practice. My thoughts slowed down, my body relaxed, and I felt nourished again at the end of the day. So let me just recap this. Try it for yourself. Try to find these pockets and these micro moments of quietness and stillness in the morning, through morning breathing and morning intention setting, maybe even still in bed, in the midday, through just closing your eyes, withdrawing your senses and watching your breath and getting in touch with that inner stillness, and in the evening, maybe using your mala bead, your mantra practice, or just watching and observing your breath as you sit quietly and let the stimulation of the day just reside. Again, no perfection needed, just presence, just your presence. And if you want, you have the link below to my newsletter article to this topic. You can copy and paste it and take it with you. You can also subscribe to my newsletter community where you get a newsletter once a week. And I really advise you to use this Ayurvedic travel tips, the yoga ritual tips, and the meditation on the move from these videos. I also have a Qigong, yoga, and this week a short meditation practice for you. And next week I'm excited to share with you my 3 herbal remedies, helpers that I always take with me on a trip that will help you with your sleep, with your digestion, with your elimination, and with staying grounded and balanced while traveling. So until then, breathe, stay limber, be still, and come home to yourself even while on the road and while on the move. Thank you very much. Namaste.